What's going on, everybody? This is Translation, powered by Translation Media. I'm your host, Nick Beam.
I'm Kurt.
All right, and together we are Translation Media. Check this out. So we're going to go straight into the episode. It's a lot to talk about. Yeah. Now, I want to let y'all know we based out of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is known for betting, and it is sports season, right? We got football, we got basketball, we got hockey.
Yes, sir.
We got everything but baseball. Baseball just concluded. LA Dodgers are world champions yet again.
Man, they crushed it this year.
Yeah, they crushed it. I think they're going to make another run next year, too, the way they look.
Man, Ohtani is a killer, bro.
Ohtani is definitely an assassin. But listen, again, we in Vegas, and one thing that just hit the media not too long ago that's obviously going to be a reoccurring and ongoing investigation is sports betting. And there's been this big scandal that has hit the market of players that are getting caught up in sports betting, even coaches.
Man.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, part of our company is, sports driven. We're talking about everything pop culture.
We consult sports agents, sports athletes and everything
Athletes,
else,
sports,
and their agents. And I work with some few financial advisors. I was a financial advisor in some capacity. I work with a few athletes. So money management is a big thing, but also when it comes to money management, it gets sketchy when people starting to make those bets, man. A lot of athletes, they gamble. They gamble on the airplanes. They shoot dice. They play, what are some of those games?
Boo-ray?
Boo-ray is a big one. That's what I can think of.
Yeah, Boo-ray.
Boo-ray, the poker, the spades,
tonk.
the tonk.
Yep.
The dice end up on the table as well. So, those guys is really big into gambling, and it's trickled over into the games. But I think it's a catch-22 out here because sports betting is so prevalent now, man, and it's embedded in every aspect of sports now.
Right.
It gets tricky nowadays, bro. You got ESPN working with, I think they're working with DraftKings now.
Yeah.
FanDuel. And if you go into every arena from college all the way up to the pros, these companies are marketing and branding. And so these kids, from students all the way to now the athletes, and they've opened up the doors in college athletics to allow athletes to bet on sports, professional sports, not just in college anymore. Not college. They can't bet on college, but they can bet on professional sports. So, man, give me your thoughts on some of that. Is it a danger zone? Should they keep it the way it is, or it's crazy now?
You know what? For me, I think it's interesting to see how all this play out. It's unfortunate that the names that have been revealed in the media are caught up in it. Terry Rozier, who's from Cleveland, by the way. Hate to see it. Chauncey Billups, big Billups fan.
Man, big Billups fan.
Yeah.
From Detroit days, too.
Yeah, Detroit days. his whole career. He's solid point guard.
Denver,
but, anybody that's caught up in this because
Damon Jones, silly ass.
Damon Jones, right. It's a double-edged sword. And, it almost becomes hypocritical, because they're airing out guys that are well-known. They haven't revealed the guys behind the scenes.
I can't agree with you on that one, though.
That's
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from.
Well, the part of it is if you're in sports, obviously you have a name, so of course you're going to be exposed to, but you have to expose everything. But before we even talk about exposure, it's tough when you got the ESPNs or whoever they've done business with, whether it's FanDuel, DraftKings. You're starting to see a lot more DraftKings, a lot more FanDuel, and it's being welcomed.
Yeah.
Where is the cutoff, or where is the boundary for an athlete to not gamble? Right? They're resting the trust on, which technically you should. You're responsible. Part of your job is not bet on teams. If you're an athlete or a coach. If you have any direct relationship to the business of sports, you should not be betting on sports. Sure. And we shouldn't have to micromanage you to make sure you don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's throughout history and people getting caught gambling on sports. You can say that, but I liken it to two different things. One is alcohol. Alcohol is a vice. And when you start to drinking it, you have to be a responsible drinker. Most people end up either becoming an alcoholic because it might be, something in them, or they might be over drinking while it's out, or, I've been in situations where, you get to drinking and next thing you know, too many shots get passed around, you forget how many drinks you took. That's the reason why I stopped drinking, period. And so from that standpoint, you got to be able to have personal responsibility when it comes to that. Or even with a car, the speed limit is, let's say, 75. why do they put $150 on the dash when it comes to driving a car, bro? Because they're setting you up for what comes with it. Like we can write tickets for people that go over 75 miles an hour. It's kind of like it's ironic that the world just puts us in position or puts it in a place where we can fail, in position to fail. But that's where it comes, responsibility. And that's where we're going back to the sports aspect. But those are my analogies when it comes to it. You have to be responsible if you're going to be able to do it. And so if there's laws and regulations that say you can't do it, you should just do it. And that what comes with, that's why I say when I don't agree with you in that capacity, like I'm saying, like people are saying, hey, they put Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones and Rozier on the camera. They put the other information out about the other guys. They did, but they're not famous.
They drop names?
They drop names. All their names are in there. All the names are in there.
You talking about in the case or you talking about in the media?
All in the case.
Oh, I'm talking about the media.
I don't know if necessarily did it in the media.
Yeah, I mean in the court case.
I saw everybody that was on the list.
I'm talking about front center in social media and newspaper.
But that's what happens when you're famous.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because negative media sells.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, that's why I said it's unfortunate because they're the ones that are getting hyper exposed.
Right.
The court, the average person that cuts on TV, you got to think about it from this. The person that cuts on social media and TV isn't going and looking at the court case. How many people really looking through court case? They should.
Right.
They should. And it's a bunch of examples.
Know everybody involved. That's me.
Yeah, but you an overachiever though. So like the average person isn't an overachiever. They cut on the TV or they cut on social media and who they see is who they see. And unfortunately, and I don't mean to dumb down society, but like let's be honest. If I hear Chauncey's name, then I'm thinking the average person. I'm thinking, oh, he's responsible for all of this. That's what I was saying initially. Like, put those other guys out there because me, I'm like, well, who was the other guys? Well, who was this person? Yeah. And then you find out, oh, this dude. I'm not saying that this is true, but this dude is head of a sports book, or he's. He owns a casino. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, these people are involved too. Yeah. And I think they protect and don't put those names out intentionally. But in the court, legally, you have to expose the names in court ruling and in the paperwork. But I'm saying as far as like media, but again, it goes back to what you said, and I agree, is you got to take responsibility and accountability. It's kind of like when the Raiders came, I had a conversation with a few different people, and the Raiders came to Vegas. First thing certain people said was, oh, man, this is going to be bad. It's because of the city and what's here, what's accessible. And I'm like, man, I know guys that played on teams in California that was taking private jets into Vegas in the middle of the season. You already watched the Bulls documentary with Jordan, and they said Rodman then flew from practice and went to Vegas to meet with Madonna. Like, so
Carmen Electra and them hanging out in Vegas.
You got money. Yeah, you got money. You can, everything's accessible. For sure. Even transportation. Yeah. So what it comes down to is accountability, responsibility as an adult, as a man. Then you got to say, all right, look, I know gambling is there. I can't associate with anything that is gambling because it can be a detriment to my career. If you value the career, and it sucks because it's like, it's tempting. It is tempting.
Just think about like the resort world. They got in trouble for the gambling that they were doing and cooking the books and things of that nature. Yeah. People were coming in. Otani was another one. Yep. Otani was in. I mean, he got put in the mix. Yeah. So like, you got to think about like this.
He got the lawyers for that though.
He got the lawyers.
He got the long bread for that.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like Chauncey probably had the long bread when he was in the NBA.
He ain't got Otani money though.
But Otani money different, bro.
That's you got to give him. You said Mookie Betts and stuff like.
But I'm just saying though, like
I don't know how much.
Did they put Otani all in the news?
Nah.
Yes, they did. They had a tiny.
They did, but
and then it trickled down to the fall guy. Yeah, and then it faded off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Correction. Tiny was in the news.
Yes,
it was. Yeah, it didn't linger though.
But
nobody's talking about Otani now.
They found the fall guy.
Yeah,
Otani had a fall guy, right?
Sure.
Chauncey ain't got no fall guy.
He should have had one. He should have. No, it sucks, man. Like I don't laugh at people's downfall. Like,
I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing at she should have had a fall guy.
Yeah. You should have somebody.
Hey, you need to take this heat, dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got you
like,
when you get out.
In the history of people getting in trouble, if you that ticket,
you gotta have a fall guy.
You gotta have a fall guy.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. When the recruiting scandals when it comes to sports, when the coach was playing, they had the coach of Arizona, and he threw everybody else on the bus. My guy was a fall guy. I don't want to start mentioning names, but I love him to this day. But he was a fall guy. But he was pissed.
Yeah,
he was pissed when he came back and was like, "Yo, you owe me," and he was like, "Man, I don't owe you nothing."
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm gonna take the fall for you. Now you don't know me. Now you don't owe me.
Yeah.
Where was the love?
Yeah.
Where's the loyalty? But they would have thrown you under the bus, but you said you're gonna take care of me, but you didn't.
Everybody ain't loyal.
Everybody ain't loyal. But it's that's why I'm saying, like, you got to be very accountable and be very intuitive about if you're gonna get yourself in some shit. You gotta know that you're getting yourself in some shit, and you gotta take what comes with it. Ain't no whoop-de-doo in this situation.
No, it's not.
So you gotta take.
That's what I'm saying. You listen. If you knew what you was doing, you knew you was about to gamble. You knew if you Terry Rozier, you knew you had to play in this game.
Yeah.
You knew you was about to throw that game.
Yeah.
You know you was about to turn that ball over intentionally. Like that's the part that's the part that kind of bothers me the most.
I'm like 50 on power because the way the videos was looking with T Rozier, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
He did
like
that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and you play ball.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of ball. I played against pros. I know I know how pros play.
For sure.
And I have to say, and I'm not calling Terry Rozier guilty. It just these videos make him look very, very implicated.
Come on, cuz.
I'm not the judge.
We ain't no judge.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I throw that disclaimer out there. I try not to judge.
I try not to judge.
But my experience playing with hoopers. Or any professional athlete, that muscle memory crazy. So you ain't turning over that ball like that.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's moves. Even I watched John Bones Jones fight, not even like play fight, wrestle on the floor of Fontainebleau in Miami outside of Live, playing drunk. And I'm like, this dude is one move away from putting somebody to sleep. Like, and he wasn't even trying to do it. He just naturally trained.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's where it sucks because for the youth that's trying to get to that level, and you see that there's orchestrations that are happening behind the scenes because it leads to bigger issues too. Is the NBA fixed collectively? Is the NFL fixed?
They gamble.
We might have to have a whole nother episode on controversy behind that. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole in this episode.
Is it a script?
But yeah, is it scripted? That's a theme.
The conspiracy
of
theory
conversations that are happening, and there's some ball players that have come out that are saying that it might be. And then I watched a video where they were comparing the structure on paper to the NBA and the WWE. And I'm like, if it's anything close to WWE, then there you have it. It doesn't mean, this is the part that gets muddy. It doesn't mean that these cats can't play.
Right.
Right? It means that they're still pros.
Yeah.
Them guys that wrestle, whether they on drug induced or they like Kurt Angle was an Olympic wrestler. But that wrestling is different from the WWE. This is entertainment. It's a scripted storylines.
Sure.
You're cheating on your wife in this storyline.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're cheating on them in real life. This is your name on stage. It's not your real name in real life. So I'm not saying the NBA is the same way. Because the person viewing might be like, what are you talking about? You're saying that these people's names are fake. You're saying LeBron's name's not LeBron?
They can kick somebody out the game to affect the whole series.
Or they can tell rep, like, dude, we play ball together. I would go to Lifetime, and depending on who was reffing, I would ask how y'all calling the game today.
You gave him a couple $, didn't you?
Hell no. I was already giving them the membership, the fees was a couple $. That's why I felt entitled. I walked over there like, hey, how y'all calling this game today?
Lifetime got the worst referee.
Yeah, they got the worst ref. But that's why I'm like, one dude calling it one way. But the thing is you hear Chris Paul speak out about certain refs. And it's like, can the refs throw the game?
Oh, sure.
Can the refs control how the game flows?
For sure.
There's so many different moving parts, but there's so many layers to peel back. The average person couldn't comprehend whether or not the games are fixed or not. So I choose to take the latter on that. I choose to decline a conversation about fixed sports.
Okay.
But when you talk about gambling and you want to drag on the idea of gambling, you start to peel back those layers.
But just think
and
about
it
also
ruins opportunities for the youth because now you're looking at a platform you wanted to be on, and it's like, yo, this is fixed.
But the youth is also getting involved in it too. I mean, now they got an investigation, the federal investigation about for college.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already trickling back down to the college aspect of it because now you have, instead of just 30 teams, you got hundreds of colleges
Yeah, universities everywhere.
Universities everywhere that are that are on the sportsbooks platforms. Yep. And so, hey, you're not going to think about Tarleton State, or Tarleton State, whatever the name is.
That might exist.
Or Boise State.
Boise State.
In that game, that they could easily be, telling their homeboys, hey, man, I'm about to get under 10 points tonight. I mean, just think about Harden that one night. That Harden had a point that was a big one recently.
Yeah.
James Harden had a point. What was his points? Was 21 and a half.
I know what you're talking about.
He had 20 at halftime, bro. This is James Harden. ISO James.
Yeah.
Step back, shorty.
Yep.
Let me travel on you.
Yeah.
Take a trip. All I need is one dance. James Harden. And you couldn't get another free throw or 2 free throws by the end of the game, G. At halftime, you had 20.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's something sketchy about it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
like
sketchy.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy because it's like for real. But it's just too much. It's too many things going on. There's too many things. That's what I'm saying. There's too much to try to keep track of.
I get it.
And so that's why I go back to my point about Chauncey and Terry because like they ain't the only ones. And the media is saying that there's some others that they're investigating.
Right.
So now what does that do for the league? What does that do for sports betting? I think there was an episode on ESPN about Aaron Gordon hitting like a bunch of threes. But what's wild is if you go on Gilbert Arenas, one of his shows, which I like Gilbert's podcast. I think it's very entertaining. But he say throughout the jokes, he say real stuff.
Yeah.
And was an ongoing thing with him and Kwame Brown, who was vocal as of late over the past 5 years. We've heard a lot about Kwame Brown, maybe longer. And they said Kwame was the enforcer in Washington. Alarm going off. And they said that he went into the locker room and told anybody if they think they're going to jack up shots and average 20, then you mistaken, paraphrasing.
Right.
You hear Jamal Crawford say that right before he retired, I think he dropped 25 or 30 points. And he showed he's clearly capable of still playing.
For sure.
But then his interaction with the coach at the time is you're taking a spot from a younger player. But then you see Udonis Haslem become a lifetime Miami Heat.
For sure.
And then retire. From there.
It
depends on the team, right? The organization.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make is there's something to be said on how they're valuing players in the league and how they're controlling what's going on that level.
Yeah.
And even LeBron has jumped on some recent podcasts and was insinuating the Rookie of the Year with him and Carmelo. And he, kind of should I, I've been the one to run Rookie of the Year, should Melo.
So hold on. LeBron questions his own Rookie of the Year?
There was it was some parable shit. It was something because I'm not gonna go.
I know he ain't gonna give up nothing.
I'm not about to go down that rabbit hole
of
saying this is exactly what he
Carmelo
said.
should have won it that year.
It should have been Cole. If I don't think LeBron loses Rookie of the Year.
Man.
But if you look at, I know what you're gonna say. Denver had a better record. Carmelo was much more productive.
Sure.
They went further. Yeah, I get it. But LeBron is LeBron, so I don't take that away from him. I saw clips. I didn't watch the whole thing and dissect it. I'm not gonna act like I dissected it. I just saw the clip and was watching and passing, and I'm like, how do you come out and even speak on that level about what's going on orchestrated in the NBA? That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Right, I get
you know what I'm saying? It just makes you wonder when these guys, and it's other guys that are retired that are talking about these things.
Yeah.
So, again, unfortunately, these guys got to take the fall, but, it's the world we in,
It's a lot of factors, man. I know that Terry Rozier he's one of those guys that he's a journeyman in the NBA and was probably never I'm gonna be an NBA champion. I'm gonna have a longevity, so I'm gonna make the most of my career. And when you're in that position to where it's saying, hey, I'm just gonna be a pawn on this chessboard, and that's what some of these people are. You got King James, then you got some of these.
Oh yes, very much a business.
Mid-tier businessmen that are just in basketball just to be playing for the entertainment aspect of it. So he probably was like, shoot, let me make a couple extra dollars on the side while I'm doing this. Or,
for sure.
with the Chauncey situation, how do you get that embedded to be, as what they quote unquote say, you're in bed with the mafia or something like that in that capacity? Now you're digging deeper into gambling as opposed to you just doing some sports betting stuff. Like they said those were rigged poker rooms.
Yeah,
and,
they showed the equipment.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chauncey ain't put his money into that.
And see through cards. So yeah, I mean, like, but now Chauncey, how do you even get embedded into that organization? That type of
it definitely ain't happen overnight. If you are embedded,
it ain't happen overnight. Do you owe somebody? Do you have some back break your leg deals that you got going on to where, hey, man, this is what you owe us.
Yep.
And I could see that if you get in bed with the wrong people, they'll hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah, exactly. You got to take the fall for them.
Yeah, now you got to bring up some more fish.
Yeah.
So we're for us to fish on. So like, there's so many different variables that happen in this capacity. Like even LeBron was giving Damon Jones information.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even if him and Damon Jones are very good friends.
Yeah, they are very much friends. Yeah.
But does LeBron know that he's trickling that information down to other people? He probably he couldn't.
Who knows?
It's small talk.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's a soap opera, bro. Like it's literally it's drama.
It's scandals.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
People are forgetting that this is entertainment.
For sure.
And that was to my point that I made earlier about how we're viewing those platforms. Mm-hmm. All these things are coming out. And it's like my biggest, it doesn't even matter if it's sports or not. All the stuff that's been coming out, who is also behind that? That's where I'm at. Like, all right, cool. You got Terry Rozier, you got Chauncey. That's unfortunate, whatever. Mm-hmm. Who else? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they didn't orchestrate that. Like the whole defrauding the NBA, the advisors and ex-players that was getting insurance claims. Mm-hmm. Like somebody put them up to that, bro.
Oh yeah, they didn't just think of that over.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't even know it was possible. They probably didn't even know it was possible. Somebody put that bug in here. Mm-hmm. Who was that person? Yeah. Again, I don't have the time to sit and try to peel back those layers. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm curious and intrigued, but I'm not about to sit here and base our show around scandal. You know what I'm saying?
Try to be the person that's a judge, jury, and
executioner. Like I ain't got time for that, bro.
Hell no.
But I do. It's a couple head scratchers in there.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I wish them the best, but like I said, man, if you got some type of fame, your name is gonna be.
Yeah.
They're gonna drag your name through the mud.
Especially if you're a color.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're a color. But at the same time, like these dudes knew what they were doing, and if you know what you're getting yourself into when the push comes to shove, their fame is going to allow them to be pushed to the forefront of the media, and it allows them to be crucified, and hung on the stake or on the cross in front of everybody to be it's a sacrificial lamb for that whole situation.
For sure.
But everybody else is going to be judged at some point in time by the 12. But with that being said, they're going to don't do the crime if you don't want to be put out in the cameras.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I feel like if you don't do the crime and then be Trey from Boys in the Hood talking about let me out though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like let me out though, let me out. No, like for real. I think again you got to know what you're getting yourself into, and I just feel like I don't care if I'm Terry Rose, because that's the thing. Like the NBA is structured that way. Pat Beverly has said it. Mm-hmm. Pat Beverly has based his career on being a role player. Yeah. Draymond Green, like these guys were productive before they got to the NBA, and they're still productive now. You can go watch them do workouts and do open runs. They hit shots. They hit difficult shots.
True. Reggie Miller would just run them off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These cats got it. Yeah. Don't get it twisted because they're not averaging crazy points that they can't get it. They just understand how this business is structured, and they looking at it like, all right, do I want to rebel against this, or do I want to conform so I can eat?
That's a whole nother conversation, man. Woo, that's a whole nother conversation.
So we're gonna save it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna conclude this episode, because like I said, this can go 2 hours.
Yes, definitely could.
But we need y'all locked in. We got more to come. This is Translation, powered by Translation Media. I'm your host, Nick Beam.
Big Kurt.
Tune in next time. Peace.